Led Zeppelin, arguably one of the greatest classic rock and roll bands of all time. In September 2007, 20 million people attempted to enter an online lottery for 18,000 seats to a one-off charity concert that was played in honor of Ahmet Ertegun's memorial on December 10th in London. We are offering a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own an authentic piece of rock and roll history, a last link to the legend of Led Zeppelin, the original memorabilia tickets to the last shows, slated to be played in Chicago in November of 1980. Tickets that were to be sold via mail order exclusively through the Chicago Tribune newspaper on the very day that would share the tragic obituary of John Henry Bonham on September 25th, 1980, the fateful day that ended an era. The last show Led Zeppelin played in the United States was July 24th, 1977, in Oakland, California. Robert Plant, the lead singer, was informed of the death of his 10-year-old son, Karak, from an intestinal ailment on July 26, 1977, when the band arrived in New Orleans, an event which prompted the cancellation of shows that had been rescheduled around a show that played in Chicago but was postponed on April 9, 1977. This Saturday night performance featured the guitarist Jimmy Page mysteriously fading out partway into the concert, prompting the band to reschedule an incomplete show for August 3rd and August 4th, 1977. The death of Plant's son prompted the cancellation of all Led Zeppelin concerts after July 26, 1977, including the rescheduled show in August for August 3rd and the added August 4th, 1977. This tragedy and its aftermath of the canceled shows in August 1977 set the stage for the anticipation we felt in Chicago when it was announced that Led Zeppelin was to return for 4 shows in November of 1980, the 10th, 12th, 13th, and 15th. One cannot fathom the reaction and the horror when on the same day that the tickets were offered for sale, we received word of the death of arguably one of the greatest drummers ever, John Henry Bonham. By the time news of the death of John Bonham reached the U.S., enough money orders had already been sent to the Chicago Stadium to sell out the 4 shows several times over, even with the imposed 4-ticket limit. The money orders were returned, and the tickets were never sent out. The story of these tickets would have ended at this point, but in 1981, the Chicago Classic Rock Book was written for the local rock station WMET, and one of the authors and contributors, Michael Dean, was able to procure a single main-floor ticket from this canceled show to put on the front cover of the book, the first time anyone had ever seen any one of these custom-printed tickets from his contact at the Chicago Stadium box office. This placement on the cover of the rock book prompted a chain of events that culminated in the purchase of the entire ticket inventory from the Chicago Stadium Corporation on the date of December 23, 1986, by Metropulse Incorporated. After acquiring the entire ticket inventory in 1986, no major ventures were undertaken with them until the December 1994 demolition of the Chicago Stadium commemorative issue, which we created to sell off a quantity of the tickets in a limited edition that celebrated the history of the stadium, a building which hosted not only the historic Zeppelin concerts of the 70s, but sporting events as well. The building was host to 3 world championships by the Chicago Bulls in her last years, not to mention a 1992 finals appearance by the Chicago Blackhawks. It was a sad day when the building was demolished, an event which brought out the owner of the stadium, William Wirtz, to see the first blows of destruction as he stood in the parking lot of the soon-to-be-demolished icon and reminisced about his favorite moments that he remembered.
So what were some of your fondest memories here?
That's a good question. I think a lot of boxing, particularly the Zale Graziano fight, July '47. All the great Blackhawk games, bowl games, and the rock shows during the '70s.
Some fans
that didn't happen until '73, but
you're here today.
So what about you here?
How do you feel about what's your mood right now?
Well, I think it's like going to a wake. You want to pay your last respects.
The convergence of Chicago and Led Zeppelin continued into 1995, the year after the stadium demolition, when it was announced that Jimmy Page and Robert Plant were to tour together for the first time since the demise of Led Zeppelin in 1980 to promote the No Quarter release. This concert to play at the newly christened United Center, which opened across the street from the demolished Chicago Stadium. Miller Genuine Draft Beer signed on as a sponsor for this Page Plant tour, and in conjunction with that, they commissioned a semi-trailer truck that contained a display of various Led Zeppelin memorabilia, a display which prominently featured a stunning display of the Led Zeppelin 1980 memorabilia tickets in a beautiful wheel collage that showcased all 4 nights of the shows that were canceled and each individual seat location for each night. This footage was shot outside United Center in June 1995, where the semi was parked in the west lot.
This is Michael Dean, president of Metropulse. In recognition of the Guinness World Record that was awarded to Led Zeppelin in December 2009, we have decided to create a selection of stunning limited edition numbered presentations in honor of the 30th anniversary of the doomed Chicago Stadium concert and the official end to the supergroup Led Zeppelin, and each that featured the authentic original tickets which represented the last thing the original band would ever do way back in 1980 at Chicago Stadium. We have contracted to create these collectible gems that feature one of the authentic original tickets from the concert that never happened at the now demolished Chicago Stadium. This is the one chance the public has to own an authentic Led Zeppelin memorabilia ticket, a ticket that represents the end of an era and immortalizes the legacy that was and still is Led Zeppelin, as evidenced by the Guinness World Record they recently won. Shipped to your door in the continental U.S. via UPS today. International orders are to be processed individually. Go to LedZeppelinTickets10 to buy your quality rock and roll memorabilia, and other product offerings are available on the site.